Hey everybody, it's that time of year again where people are thinking about their income tax refund check and what they're going to do with that money. What better thing to do than buy a new home? So a lot of individuals will think about this time of year, people are deciding, hey, we're going to have X amount of money. What are we going to do with it? What better way to spend it than to buy a home? If you rent, you probably have never considered it. I mean, not that you haven't considered it, but renting is just kind of a simpler way to go. You don't have to worry about the financing and things like that. But a little known fact, if you've never checked into it, a lot of times you can buy a home cheaper on the monthly payment than you will pay for rent. So that's one thing to consider. Another thing to consider is you actually get a tax credit for the interest that you pay on your home loan. So it actually helps you for the next year's income tax refund check typically. Of course, I'm not an accountant. You'll want to talk to your tax person about that. But just a little fact for you guys who haven't checked into that before. So when we were talking about buying a house, many times people think that they have to have their whole life savings or they have to save a ton of money before they can even buy. Not always true. This day and age, there are several different loan types. There are FHA, VA, USDA, Kentucky Housing for people here in Kentucky, and conventional. That's just just scratching the surface. There are so many loan programs out there that really, when you get with a lender, most of the time they'll fit you to the program you need to be in. But just to recap, these loans are typically made for lower down payments. FHA is 3.5% down of whatever the loan amount is. USDA is 100%. VA is 100% if you or your spouse have served our country. And then there's conventional. I think the minimum for that is, well, I have actually seen a 3.5% conventional, but typically it's 5%. Something to consider is most of these loans are locked in at the rate for the duration of the loan, whether you do 15, 20, 30 years. Now most of them are locked, and right now rates are extremely low still. I remember when I bought my first house a very long time ago. We won't talk about how long ago. But when I bought my first house, rates were like 8%. And people were like, yeah, jump on that. Well, now you can get, I think I closed on the other day, that was 3.25, which is extremly low. They're around 4 right at this exact moment. Of course, that changes all the time. So in looking at these loans, you need to consider the type of house you're buying. These are not for fixer-uppers. Because they are government backed basically, so they are more for the primary home you live in. So the roof has to be good, the windows have to be good. Peeling paint is a huge issue, so if you're looking at a house that's peeling paint, just know, and the sellers will need to know that that'll have to be scraped and painted before you can purchase it for the USDA, VA, and FHA. But I mean, you want the house to be in good shape when you buy it to live in, so that's not a bad thing necessarily. And most realtors can give you a good idea of what's expected or what's not. So like I said, there's just a ton of options out there, lots of things to think about. Of course, contact a realtor and they can point you in the right direction as far as what loan, based on what you're wanting to buy and your price range, kind of which loan product to think about. But your lender is definitely going to be the one to place you in it. If you fall into a certain category, you can still do an FHA loan and get a Kentucky Housing down payment assistance or a grant depending on your income level, and that can help you get in for 100% basically from the beginning. There's a few different stipulations about that, so definitely ask your lender about that. Also, something else to consider too, but if you're looking at a modular double wide home, it is a little bit different. USDA does not finance those, so unless they're brand new, brought off the lot. So just a little sidebar there. You can do that with FHA and Kentucky Housing and conventional. If you have any questions about loan types or what loan requirements are for the houses, just feel free to call, message, or post in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. Thanks. Bye.